allow you to sideline a lot more aggressively.
Jax.
And there is the Jax from Zeus. That is kind of a double up because it's both one of Doran's best picks, particularly when Doran has been on form. I think is Jax.
Yeah. Good luck. Go over there, stop that. As now we got the engaged Pantheon coming on up. Owner is here. Viper in a lot of trouble. Down he goes. First blood goes over to Guma, and now the bullet time as well. As well, Keria dies to the turret. All 3 grubs
of that top lane, I assume. Owner just running, and the eventual trade will be a
line here towards the road to MSI, which you do love to see, including Keria. Bit of damage here on Zeus, who is Jax, but yeah, stun comes in, 1Q, and he's dead. Owner just easy dive, and now you've got a whole turret worth of plates given over to Doran. T1 getting massive leads here in this early game.
Yeah, they're kind of obliterating them. It's 13.5 minutes. Cole's cashed out for Guma to really add to that gold lead. All right, Doran trying to play for this turret. Might be biting him.
All right, he's going towards the other enemies. He's buying a lot of time. The turret goes down. Owner tries to come in and save him, but Doran gets knocked up, and there you go. First kill, but now Nico, the massive ult over the top. And Guma's right there, but the damage doesn't go in. As now we got the engage coming in on Guma. He has to cleanse. He flashes, but he's not getting out of this one. Hanwha Life making something of this team fight. As Faker on the backside, Keria here alone as well. Triple kill for Viper, who has been totally untouched in this fight, picks up 3.
Well, there's that team fighting, fellas! And we said, yes, there's a gold lead, but the item spikes are really not that different, and I think we see it right there. What a back and forth, and that combo looked disgusting from Keria and Guma so much.
That love to stick around for long fights and get multiple counter-strikes off. Jax is one of them. Keria, he is in a lot of trouble. No ult available. He's just dead. Root comes down, and now the follow-up, the recommittal here from T1, trying to save their buddy. And now Hanwha Life are going to get another flash away from this one. Guma is probably dead here. He doesn't have flash as the bullet time. It doesn't hit, but it doesn't matter. Zeka just takes the 1v1 Hanwha. Now wiping the floor with them. They're going to take down
from Zeka as well.
All right, they really want to fight for this one, but the Drake is already gone. And okay, it's gone.
That was anticlimactic.
We're like building up to this, and then T1 just,
They get mid turret, which is nice, but soul point.
There's a rip turret in top lane.
That's all Zeus, by the way. He drew attention.
Yeah. He drove attention. So he's about to hit level 16. I think we're not having a lot of action now. We wanted to show something, but that's really the situation. Doran, I think he just doesn't do it now. There's just way too much rotation over here. 4 people. Doran's just pushing.
Or Fakers.
Wants to go for the engage. As Faker just going to go golden, and now Delight maybe in a bit of an issue as everybody gets knocked up by the Nico, but the counter Nico comes in. They get onto that back line as Keria the first to go down. Guma's already out of the fight, as will go down Owner, and it's just a disaster. T1, they set it up, and Hanwha Life knock it down as they do not get the soul, but they get
out of the fight. And then Doran, he's just a Yorick, man.
Yeah.
He's just a Yorick by himself. Can't get through.
Otacon
we
picked
forgot
up here.
about Otacon.
I didn't.
Well, I did. Good anticipation, but at this point, you are Pantheon.
All right, they're going to try for something here, but Keria doesn't find the angle, and Fate's Call comes through. It's kind of a broken engage from T1, and there's still 30 seconds of Baron. So they have this wave. They take down the turret anyway.
You're like, okay, yeah, no, this is... There's an issue.
Everything we said on the box stage is coming true.
Yep.
If Hanwha Life lock in, if Peanut's on his game, they should take it. Peanut is running into 4 people, and the ult here from Keria only hits the Xinjiao, who does not care. Peanut doesn't care, even if he dies. As now they get to the back line, and Kuma's ult does absolutely nothing, just dies immediately. Baker's got a good angle under the turret, but he doesn't have any teammates as they're diving the turret. They're just tanking the turret, and everybody seems to have his on as everybody's going golden, and Baker just doesn't do any damage. He is dead. Hanwha Life stomp the fight, and maybe they take the game right here.
That's a red side win as well. It's Hanwha Life. Yes, they fell behind, but those team fights, man, they are just something else. The early skirmishes, we saw the signs, and Hanwha They'll be able to end this game. Karia's trying to clear the wave as best as he can, but nah, there's just no chance.
Not having enough pull. They turn and take the kill first, and then they will kill the enemy Nexus. Hanwha Life, very nicely played game. They got down 4,000 gold in the laning phase, and it still didn't matter because
just feels like a smash hit. It makes Galio's play pattern a lot harder for him to reliably get. It is good into Alistar, and then it also just Kindred as a champion is just invalidated kind of by it because you can level 6. Delight doesn't have Hex Slash either. I think they're trying again. Woo.
I mean, with Ignite and Flash, like if Delight hits him into a wall, then yeah, he's dead. Speaking of which, Faker walks up and the exact thing that I just said. You're pretty good.
He is.
Gotta gas up the teammates, you know. Even though Zeka didn't show a lot of emotion, that's fine. Peanut is going to be in a lot of trouble here. As he does not have Flash anymore. Trying to give this kill over to Doran maybe, but one more Winds of War and he does go down. Okay, trying to go untargetable once again as Ingo's Faker, and finally they take him down. Owner picks up the ball.
I think they're going to arrive around the same time. If Hanwha Life played a little slow.
Well, there's the equalizer. It's a good one, but the Poppy ult is even better as they go all in onto one target. Down goes Owner, and the smite goes the way of Peanut, and now this is really rough times for the side of T1 as in goes Peanut, but there's no damage follow-up, and Zeka still on the chase. He's going to hit the charm again, as there you go. Another kill goes over to Zeka, and already the snowball. More respect.
Okay, T1, Doran TPing in, level 11, does have the equalizer, level 2. Poke is good here.
Yeah, I mean, they're zoning them away.
Nice.
Doesn't really look like Hanwha are set up for contesting this very well. So that is going to be the Rift Herald going over to T1. It is an Ornn getting some free time at the bottom lane. Just importantly, going to get those levels we keep talking about.
One of my the Herald.
He's getting some good positioning.
Zeka and Delight playing very respectful here, going to take down the Rift. Karia, if they can get in on someone, Peanut, that's in the theory though.
Yeah, it's not a real target now. The TP's behind them. Zeus, he is an Ornn. I don't really think they can kill him, but a double knockup comes in. He flashes out of the Galio. They're still showing a lot of respect to our Hanwha Life.
What is happening?
Are we gonna get the return of Doomer Chronicler?
No,
it's such a rare skin.
That was dark times. we're not going back to that.
It was today.
We're not going back to that.
It happened earlier.
Valdez, I am a different man now. You know, I've changed. I've given up positions like this. Is quite as slow and steady.
Yeah,
oh my God, he's going in.
The charm is going to miss, but it doesn't matter. He's so tanky. He's Ari. Look at his door. He's just dead. It's just a one-on-one. Okay, he's just unlocking Hex Flash. He doesn't have Hex Flash. He is going to knock away.
It's not done. We're so back.
The ultimate down. But guess what, guys? There's no objective outside of the Otacon. Now they're going to engage, though. On to Peanut.
Yeah.
He's dead. He won. Looking for the objective.
It wouldn't have mattered, right? Like, he's going to hit it anyway. I know. We're playing it up.
It's okay, Doomer Chronicler. We'll make it through this together.
He's not real.
They're just going for the mid turret. And Carry is not. Yeah, he's not going to do anything about that. No Demolish proc. Yes, Demolish proc. They will get it. He's trying his best.
Oh my God. Well, Guma can heal it at least, but more of that poke hits, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Zeus not really able to make his way in. Equalizer now going to do a little bit of damage. More of a zoning equalizer than anything else.
A little bit.
Yeah, Zeus did walk back over it. Faker in a rough spot, but he will be okay. In goes Zeka though. Going to get the charm here on Owner. Nice amount of poke from them. Even the Smolder helping out of that. And now they just turn on the Guma and Doran, who are left out to dry by the team as everybody else was running away. And that's going to be that early pick. Charm not going to hit fear from Zeka, but you know what is really going to hit hard? Orange Smolder with Infernal Soul at 25 minutes into the game.
I'm done coping. No more cope.
Doomer Chronicler's back.
This game is done.
Wow.
I swear,
Chronicler.
if Hanwha Life somehow lose this,
you're a changed man today. I don't know what to say.
I will believe.
That's crazy. We're getting a little engaged here. Owner very, very low. And he ult in from Peanut as Doran's so low. Get a nice ult away. As Zeus, though, is pretty deep. Delight as well, getting chunked out. But the damage from Zeka and Viper is just so gigantic. And even Zeus is still here. Gonna get the Naga, but it's a little bit too deep. Little flank.
Oh, little flank.
Little flankaroo. They didn't go in on that. Guma's alone, and What is this?
Is that Pool Bay?
I guess so, except it's Faker, actually. He's might just die to Peanut alone, who is ulting in onto Galio. And yeah, he's just kind of playing with his food at this point. Maybe he used them aggressively.
Maybe like very early on.
Yeah.
Well, might do that here.
Well, Charm's going to miss, but Carrier's not in the fight anymore. Still going to try to get in there. He doesn't have
Owner, you got to get this.
Yeah, Equalizer comes down. Owner knocked away. And now they can just smite it down. Easy peasy. There it goes as, yeah. That's a Baron now over to the side. All right, well, they're on vision.
Look at the poke.
The damage already coming in onto this Elder. TP is going to be pretty straight up. Who goes down onto Doran. Zeka's got an angle, but he's spotted. And it's getting lower and lower. Bomb will be called, and in goes Zeka. Gonna hit the charm on that back line, and Doran's almost already dead. As Owner throws in the ult, we got the Galio over the top. Delight might be in some trouble, but Owner's already dead. As the jungler goes down for T1, and they don't have a fight afterwards. In goes the Nafiri. Peanut just hunting them down like the Nafiri you would expect. And it was over a long time ago, but Hanwha Life gonna put the nail in that coffin and take down this Elder Drake.
No wave deep enough. Turret still standing. So the odds of an actual end right now, not really there. As are we just
has that upgraded locket. I think that was the item we were looking at that had like 700 health.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not the flank. The push, the siege is still happening here. And the Ornhorn will be called just to force it underneath the turret. They're going to find Owner as the turn comes in, and he's not going to die because of his ult, but now he's going to die. Just a little bit after the fact. Hanwha Life Esports will be taking down this inhibitor turret and the inhibitor, and we'll be looking for the 2-0 here tonight in relatively simple fashion. Delight going to find another angle reminiscent of that level 4 gank that he got in mid lane onto Faker, which really started the snowball in this game. They don't quite have a wave, but they've got some little wolves to help out here. And it's just a done deal at this point. Got 10 seconds on Keria, who won't be able to clear out the wave. So there you have it. 34 minutes, and Hanwha Life will take down T1 in 2-0 fashion. Not much to see here in the series, to be honest. We thought it was going to be closer. We thought it was going to be epic. But instead, Hanwha are just proving that they are the better team. I haven't seen the votes, but he's the...
Well, that's what we thought we knew earlier today.
Hey, that was my boy Daystar, okay? He 100%
He can get away with anything.
Yeah. 1 death in 2 games, and he dominated on Sylas, he dominated on Ahri.
1 death playing Sylas and Ahri.
It's a classic Zeka.
This really is. And it sets up the storylines for this playoffs, because Hanwha Life just in the nick of time leveling up to really, and we were kind of waiting for it. You know, it's the meme of the dog that's like dragging his hind legs and it just stands up, and you're like,
only they can level up.
Very much.
Solo leveling. No, I mean,
I can't believe I'm getting anime reference.
It kind of feels that way because everybody else is kind of like stable at their zone. Although T1 has leveled up a bunch.
T1's leveled up. I think Gen G's leveled up a lot as well.
Yeah.
So maybe those 3 can level. I do know that Nongshim KT DK, I'm not so sure.
KT leveled up a lot.
Yeah.
They were like 3 and 7.
For now, surely they won't lose to
It's a roller coaster, you never know.
And DRX this week, and
they
somehow drop out.
They might beat Gen G. We'll see.
They might not. We don't know.
Gen G's having fun at the end. You know, they're preparing for playoffs. Well, for Road to MSI. They're trying to get that spot to MSI. And they will. They will. As good as Hanwha look today, like Gen G are better than them right now. Although, we'll see what happens when it comes to an, you know, a best of 5, right? Should be a lot of fun. But guys, we do have the interview ready with Zeka. I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun for the POM interview translation, joined by Zeka on the side of Hanwha Life Esports after their 2-0 victory up against T1. Congratulations! Thank you very much. With this victory, Hanwha Life secured 2nd place of the LCK round 1 and 2. What does it mean to you? Yeah, we had to secure the second place, and we thought it would be a very hard challenge for us because we were going up against T1, and I'm very grateful that all of us together made it happen. And today, with this win, you guys ended your losing streak as well. What kind of feedbacks did you guys have after losing to Genji and D plus Kia? Recently, we had a lot of mistakes in game, and our communications were a little off as well. So we wanted to make sure that we can work on those issues during scrims.
1세트 라인전에서 상성을 한타로 완벽하게 극복하는 모습을
Well, game number 1, you had a very tough laning phase matchup, but you managed to turn everything around in the laning phase and team fights. How did you manage to pull it off? It was for sure a very hard and tough matchup for me. So I think our main plan was playing around the side lanes and then setting up team fights around objectives. There was a team fight where you were able to hijack the enemy's ult and then set up for the entire team fight by yourself. Do you think Silas is a good pick right now in the current patch? Well, Silas didn't really get any direct buff in this patch, but with the changes in the AP items, I think this is pretty strong. Do you think you are the best Silas player? I think so. The confidence coming out from Zeka was displayed in the play as well. And then game 2, you guys were on the red side. And then this time around, you guys were leaning towards the late game value comp. What was the direction going to game number 2? So game number 1, we didn't really have a lot of picks that had laning priority. So I had Ari on the mid lane. And then it was a decent status for me, honestly, but the play and roam play coming out from Delight was so on point, and then I was able to have such a good time after that. So how did you play out Galio-Ari matchup? Well, Ari, of course, has the priority, basically, but I think thanks to Delight, ganking mid lane, I was able to gain so much lead. Is there anything you would like to say to Delight? Because he was the one that set up for that first blood with the gank on the mid lane. He made a promise earlier today, actually. I actually made a promise. Okay, so I said, I'm feeling pretty good. And then he was like, then I'm just gonna gank mid for you. And then he actually did it for me. I'm very glad. And I saw on YouTube that you binge eat on match day after match. So what's on the menu tonight? Or what did you have earlier? Nothing, because on that day when I said so, I ate too much and then I got food poisoning and then the side effects were so bad, so I'm never doing that again. Then what about the meal after the match? Going for the hot pot, Haidilao, of course. That's on my list. Now you guys are the second place team in the LCK round 1 and 2, and one last match to play. What is your mindset? There's only one match left, and that's gonna be the final kind of checkup before heading on to the Road to MSI tournament. So I hope we can keep the best form and momentum. And this will be the end of the interview with Zeka, and back to the space. Thank you.